Maybe I'm a little bit sick in the head. It seems like I'm the only person that's down with this whole slap fighting thing, even though it's technically my intellectual property, even though Dana White hijacked it from me, that Dana White power slap thing. But that's not what this video is about right now. I think I'm the only one that seems to be enjoying it. And don't get confused. The title and the thumbnail ain't wrong. This ain't about the slap fighting thing. It's a transition. But I've been thinking about it lately. All these combat sports, fight fans, MMA fans, UFC fans, they seem to all be against the whole slap fighting thing. I personally haven't seen anybody really that's for it, that's happy about it, that's promoting it. Everyone's saying this is dumb, this is sick, this is CTE. I'm over here with my popcorn. Now, I will be honest, I didn't watch the event. And I was talking with some homies the other day, and they asked me, "Are you gonna watch a slap fight thing?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna be watching." But I'm afraid that got miscommunicated. That's because I don't got cable. I don't even know how to watch TBS. I think you can only watch it if you have cable. But I'm for it. I've seen the clips. I've been watching the clips. I seen what happened to that fool that looked like he came straight out the Goonies. I'm aware. I love the freak show. You already know that. I'm twisted. And that's why I'm over here wondering, how come I don't want to see Francis Ngannou box? How come I don't want to see that fool get murdered on live national internet? How come I'm not pro Ngannou versus Wilder, Ngannou versus Joshua, Ngannou versus the Gypsy, what's that fool's name? The Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. I guess I got other reasons. I don't know why anybody wants to see him box. In case you forgot, let me remind you, and some of you might have forgotten this. Some of you might have forgot that Ngannou already boxed. We basically already saw what a Francis Ngannou boxing match looks like when we saw him fight Derek Lewis. Did you guys forget that? Some of you might have actually forgotten that. I got to excuse you. Some of you might have actually forgotten that because you probably disassociated because it was that bad, because of the traumatic experience. And some of you still got it with you. Still comes back to you in line at the grocery store. It was awful. And I wanted to remind myself, again, because I'm sick in the beanie. I was watching it right now, right before I clicked record, because I wanted to refresh my memory. And I was correct. I corrected. It was terrible. People hated it. They were going on about it like Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza. It was a laughing stock. That's your Francis Ngannou boxing match right there. He's not a boxer. I know he loves boxing, and he started with the boxing, and that was the first love and all that, but he's not a boxer. Thank goodness he ended up where he did. I mean, he started up in Cameroon too, with the shovels and everything. That was the humble beginnings, and it's good that he did it, but it put him to where he needs to be, where he would actually be thriving, you know? Same thing with boxing. He's flat-footed. It's not the place for him. He got the incredible Hulk feet. This is what Francis Ngannou's working with. Francis Ngannou got the incredible Hulk feet. That's the Francis Ngannou patas right there. You imagine him in a boxing ring dancing around with the Gypsy King? I never seen a big man like Tyson Fury hopping around in there, like the 7-foot Lomachenko. It's insanity. He's going to humiliate himself. And people want it. Now, I understand I kind of understand why they might want it for his bank account, and that's where I get a little bit conflicted. And I've talked about this before with people like Donald Cerrone, Nate Diaz. It's like, where's that trade-off? Where's that line where it becomes about, because here's where we get it twisted when it comes to fighters. We think it's all about winning. It's all about the record. It's all about the championships. But then it's like, wait a minute. That's selfish of us. Because we look at them and everything hangs off of their last fight, you know, and how they've established themselves in their record and their wins and losses and how they came about. And we judge them based on that. And it's like, wait a minute. This is their livelihood. This is their job. Sometimes some dude might have to take a fight. Like Bryce Mitchell, I don't know. We don't know. You know, I'm not in that fool's head. I don't know if that's excuses. But sometimes someone was saying that about Paul Craig recently. Sometimes you're in a situation where maybe it's an awful matchup. Maybe you didn't have the fight camp you needed. Maybe you had the flu. Maybe you got diarrhea like Davison Figueiredo that one time he made an excuse. Whatever it is, but you're like, I gotta take the fight because we don't got like a salary like other sports. I'm gonna lose my house. I'm gonna have to go sell cars like Alaquinta. I'm gonna have to go work at Applebee's like Jeff Neal. There's a lot of it's messed up what fighters have to do to make ends meet. I saw some other driver, someone posted he's working for like Amazon delivery. It's crazy. So they got to go out and they got to take fights sometimes. So there is that to respect. Hey, the dude needs money. PFL, I guess they give their champions $1 million at the end of every year on top of everything else they make. You could get sponsorships with PFL, with Bellator. Bellator is saying if you come with us, we'll let you fight MMA. But we'll also let you box. It doesn't have to be one of these weird hybrid things where, okay, look, Francis, we'll put these two things together to keep. No, he could straight up do an MMA fight Friday and do a boxing match Saturday. They're trying to work that out for him. But the problem is he's going to go and put himself in a position where he's going to destroy his namesake because of something that he's excited about because it was his first love. If he goes and gets knocked out by Wilder, by Fury, doesn't matter. We can talk about it on paper how it shouldn't matter, but it's gonna make his stock go like this with people. Yeah, boxing's not MMA, but people can't help it. They can't get it out of their beanies. He gets flatlined in there by Fury. They're not gonna want to see Ngannou against whatever heavyweight we never heard of from one of those other leagues. They're not gonna want to see it anymore. You don't go straight out of this thing that you become dominant in to fight a Puritan in that one specific thing like Wilder. It's going to be like if you took, who's one of the best grapplers in the UFC? Who's some of the best grapplers I always hear about? People always talking about John Jones grappling. Should John Jones leave UFC and go fight Gordon Ramsay in the ADCCC thing? Should he go fight him because he's such a good grappler? Should he go grapple Gordon Ramsay? Should Henry Cejudo, Mackenzie Dern, Kamaru Usman, should they go grapple Gordon Ramsay? People are in their respective positions for a reason, and he thrived where he was for a reason. We've seen Ngannou box. You've seen, let me remind you, we've seen Ngannou box. You're watching Ngannou boxing right now. Look at, there's ways that you could characterize things, all right? Here's Nate Diaz boxing. You guys already know this. You know and love this. You've seen this. This is sign language for Nate Diaz boxing. This is Nate Diaz boxing. This is Ngannou boxing. Okay? And here's the thing about an individual like Ngannou. When you deal in fear, when you deal in trauma, when you deal in destruction, you get a hyper awareness for it. This is the dude that they say hits like a Ford Escort. This dude knows pain. He knows power. He yields it. But there's a problem with that. Now he's become aware of it. See, there's that whole ignorance is bliss type of thing. It's like when you're a little kid. And I talked about this before. It's like when you're a young teenager and you're mouthing off to grown-ups and stuff. You're like, you can't do nothing to me. You'll go to jail. I can say whatever I want. And you got no fear. You got no fear yet. And you live your life on the edge. You're living dangerously. But when you're someone like Francis Ngannou and you know devastation's right here and you've carried it out yourself firsthand, literally. And you see what it does, it kind of backfires. It kind of backfires, and you know what can happen to you. And that's why he was fighting Derek Lewis like he was. He respected his power too much because he knows what power can do to a person when you're on the receiving end. And he was scared. Francis Ngannou has so much power that he's scared of it. Derek Lewis, compare an actual boxer, compare an actual professional boxer to Derek Lewis. You're already laughing. I can hear you. You're laughing right now. Remember when Francis Ngannou fought Derek Lewis, and imagine Francis Ngannou against an actual professional boxer. Derek Lewis, the way that he fights is like when you're playing a video game and you want to do your special move, but you only got like this much energy and you don't have and you're having to harbor that one thing for like 5 minutes until you can finally throw it again. That's how Derek Lewis fights. He's waiting for the big shot that he has to get the extra energy for, and then, oh, my back. That's a Derek Lewis fight right there in 2 seconds. And you know what happened to Francis Ngannou against that. Laughing stock, disappointment, hilarious, pathetic. No one wanted to see that again. Worst fight ever. But let's put him against someone that's a billion times better and specifically focuses on that aspect of fighting their whole lives. That's why Tyson Fury is so enthusiastic about it. He knows what's going to make him look like, the type of street cred he's going to have when he beats someone that everyone's calling the baddest man on the planet. And if Francis Ngannou does it, look, if he does it just for the money and he wants that generational wealth and he puts that money in the bank, I'm happy for you, Francis Ngannou. I'm happy for you. Walk those flat feet all the way to the bank, homie. I'm not tripping, all right? I just don't want you to be delusional. I don't want you to go in there thinking you're actually going to win. I don't want your heart broken. Look, in case you're confused and you think I'm talking papas and I'm coming at him sideways and I'm being disrespectful, I'm a Francis Ngannou fan. Now check me on it. Go check my past videos. Go check the Mexican Fight Companions because I'm not trying to lie to you. I'm open to being corrected. I can't remember. I think every single time Francis Ngannou has fought, I've rooted for him, except when he fought Stipe Muchacho, because I've been a Stipe Muchacho fan for the longest. That's why I was heartbroken when Stipe Muchacho and Daniel Comer were fighting, because I'm big fans of both of them. But I'm pro Ngannou. I don't got no hate against Ngannou. I'm just saying I don't want to see him get his heart broken and his face. I want him to be able to go out there and make his money. And he's doing good things. You got him out there trying to be like this generation's Muhammad Ali, but like way less annoying. And I know that's a bad thing to say because, he passed on and stuff like that, but it's been several years now. I think it's okay now. So listen, Ngannou is trying to do something for the fighters. He's trying to bring sponsors in. He's trying to get better contracts. He's trying. I like the way that one of the reporters put it. They're like, it's not about Ngannou. It's bigger at this point. It's about setting a precedent so that other people could come in and benefit from this in the future. And that's a beautiful thing. You got other fighters over here like Conor McGregor, always jumping divisions, jumping from this to that ranking, hopping over fools that have been putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, disrespecting them, the busting, making fighters lose. Have to miss out on fights and lose their money. Like he's cutting corners everywhere, not caring about anyone else. And over here, you got Francis Ngannou. Supposedly, Dana White was saying that he was going to be the highest paid heavyweight ever in the history of the UFC, which is hilarious that he had to specify heavyweight. It probably wasn't that good if he had to be that precise about it. But he's trying to do good things. I don't want to see him fail. But look, Francis Ngannou, if you go and you get your face broken, and then you make so much money, you could just buy a new face with the quickness. It's not a big deal. Then do it. Because some of the time, that's what it's about. We go out and we collect paychecks. That's what it's about. It's a racket, man. We all got to get up early. We got to go out. We got to work for the man, do our thing. We come back home. Hopefully, we could get a couple of Netflix shows in, some mashed potatoes, a Pepsi, something like that, and then, do it all over again the next day. At least if this fool's in a position where he could get that money, hey, we're all collecting paychecks, right? Some of us collect super chats and Patreons and stuff like that. We all have a different path of life, but you know what I'm saying? So on his path, I don't want to see you get hurt. I don't want to see you go in there and put on the same kind of performance you did against Derek Lewis, because I guarantee you, Ngannou, whoever's standing across from you isn't going to put on the kind of performance that Derek Lewis did. But if you're making your money, I'm all for it. And I respect that. You got to take care of your family.